So my name's Emma, from Halzone in the West Midlands, and I am 34.
Okay. And when did you first get diagnosed?
It was in December 2020 when I was 30 years old.
That's young, isn't it? So, yeah. So 2020, that was lockdown?
Yeah.
All right, so did you find the mole through lockdown, or...?
I was on holiday in Greece.
Okay.
My husband at the time said to me, "Oh, you've got a mole on your back, it looks a bit weird." And he'd said it to me a few times before, and I thought nothing of it. And then, I don't know if it's because different room, different light, I saw it myself in a mirror. And I was going, "Oh, I don't like the look of that either." So as soon as we landed back in the UK, I got an appointment at the doctor's.
That's mad. So does he know anything about melanoma before that then?
Nope.
He just looked at it and said, "That looks a bit dodgy, let's get it checked."
Well, he'd said to me a few times, "You've got a weird mole on your back," and I genuinely thought nothing of it because I'm covered in the things, so I'd thought nothing of it. But I saw it and thought, no, it does look...
Don't look right. Yeah. So you got back, got it checked.
Yeah.
Had it taken off. How long did you wait for the results?
Not very long, because it was through COVID and lockdown. There was only really cancer services going on at the time. So I didn't go to a doctor's to get it checked because of COVID. I had to send a picture over, had to just have a conversation over the phone with the doctor. It was removed within a couple of weeks. And I knew so it was September when this started, and by December I'd got the diagnosis.
Okay. And what diagnosis was it?
It was stage 1B.
Okay. So you had your lymph nodes checked?
I did, yeah.
Whereabouts was your lymph node? So where was the mole to start with?
The mole was on my back.
All right, so your lymph node would have been what size?
Just here.
Okay, so
yeah.
closest to that size. Okay. How did you find the lymph node check?
Not too bad. I found healing-wise, I definitely suffered more with my back than my lymph node, yeah.
Is that because it's in a place where we're all consistently moving and stuff? I always find that a bit weird.
Yeah, it's where you stretch. I got an infection in the wound pretty much straight after the surgery.
Right.
It was all... I had my operation 2 days before Christmas, so I had to go through Christmas Day in agony.
I hope you played on it a little bit.
I could barely move. So it was just a bad time of year, really.
Yeah.
But so it didn't heal very well as a result of that.
So you got the results, and then you had your wider excision, and you had your lymph node check, and then was you checked after for a year or anything like that? Was you given 3 monthly checks?
Yeah, 3 monthly checks. And then last year I had a mark reappear
Near it.
on the scar,
Right,
and it had recurred, so it came back as melanoma again.
Okay.
In situ that time, so not quite as bad as the time before.
So it come back next to it?
Literally, where it had been removed.
That is quite common. I've heard that quite a few times.
Yeah.
Literally. So did they go back in and do another wider excision?
Yeah.
Okay, so back on the same place?
Yeah, exactly the same place.
Yeah. So is it a little bit more of a bigger scar now, is it?
It kind of improved the scar a bit because,
yeah,
because it was so badly scarred from the infection, so it tidied it up a little bit.
So obviously you was then given all clear.
Yeah.
And when was that?
So I got the all clear last summer, around last August time.
Okay, so all clear since then. And what do you do now to keep your skin checks up? So you wouldn't be still under getting them checked, would you? So you.
I've just moved on to yearly because it was a melanoma in situ. They've moved me onto yearly checks now.
Right. Okay. So you start with 3, don't you? Then you go 6, and then the old yearly.
Yeah.
So do you have anything like mole mapping done or anything like that? Or?
No, and I've considered it because I am absolutely covered in moles, and it's always the ones on my back that I can't see very well that concern me.
They're definitely on the same as that one. So afterwards you were diagnosed, and have you found living with it now? How's your kind of outlook on sun? And now, was you a sun washer before? Or
Yeah,
it was,
massively. Yeah. I didn't use sunbeds as such because I was aware of the dangers, and being fair-skinned, I didn't really use them, but I never used to burn, and that was my problem. I think I'd go and sit out in the sun, I wouldn't wear sun cream, I'd go brown straight away. Yeah, if you'd have seen me in summer a few years ago, I was like quite dark, quite tanned, and now I'm like a milk bottle all year round.
Embrace it. It. How have you been after being diagnosed? Because we always talk about the mental side of it. How did it affect you afterwards?
I'm dealing with it better now. At the time, I was diagnosed just before Christmas. I'm a mother. My son was 2 years old at the time. And I remember putting up the Christmas tree with my husband at the time and my son, and I remember just breaking down into tears. And there was that fear, like, will I be here next Christmas? Will I get to see my son grow up? I remember, like, I made a scrapbook for my son around the time, and I wrote stuff into it because you have that what if.
Yeah.
And, I said to my husband, please carry this on for him if I can't. So it was really emotional at the time. And I think it was the being a parent side of it more so that used to affect me.
Yeah.
I think over time I've learnt to live with it. You know the signs to look out for.
Yeah.
I'm very sun cream conscious, especially with my son again. He has a mole exactly where mine was. So I keep a really close eye on that.
And that's good, isn't it? Because now we can educate them as well. Like I always said before, I wish my parents would have maybe been a bit more sun-safe than me. But, it's... hindsight's a great thing, but it is what it is now. At least we can put that into our kids. So how have you felt about people around you and the way that they've dealt with it? Have you had a lot of support?
I have, yeah. My family have been amazing. My friends are really supportive. You hear about friends not taking it seriously, not checking in, and I really cannot knock the circle that I've got around me. They've been brilliant. I remember getting one comment, I think at the time, of somebody going, oh, well, at least it's just skin cancer. And you think, ouch. Yeah.
And any tips moving forward for anyone, one who wants to look at their moles, what are they looking for, and two, moving forward to be sun safe, what would you say?
I think just keep an eye on your moles. For me, I literally had a little blister come up on mine with a little dark mark in the middle, so any changes whatsoever, it's better safe than sorry. Get it checked.
Yeah.
Wear your sun cream, don't use sunbeds. And I'll say to anybody now, like, because I was so obsessed with having a tan at the time, and I'd say now the tan is just not worth dying for, and that's the outcome of melanoma sometimes.
Get out of the bottle if you need to.
Yeah.